talk to me about this because I was obsessed with like all those name sites when I was pregnant.
I know what you mean.
And it's because of exactly what you're talking about here is the popularity of the names. Like I purposely didn't name my kid Sophia.
Well, that's the #1 name this year. So if you wanted something unique, you did the right thing.
Yes. And Aiden, I thought that was going to go away when Sex and the City sort of faded, but it's still holding strong.
I totally agree with you. I thought that was a flash in the pan. I thought it would come and go, but it's sticking around. I think part of that is you can spell that name, we've seen, in 46 different ways. So when you get that many spellings, you can really keep something a little bit unique, even though it's the same name. I think also it ends in AN, and parents just love that sound for boys' names. We see it all over the list. Caden, Jaden, Logan, we see it over and over again.
Do you know why they love that sound, that kind of sound?
We don't have any scientific proof of this. I think people just gravitate towards sounds. On the girls list, a lot of the girls' names end in A. Sophia, Isabella, Olivia. So that sort of feminine A sound is very popular for girls' names, and then the harder, stronger Ann sound is for the boys.
Yeah, I was surprised that Madison is on the top 10 of girls' names because I remember when that first became a big deal with Splash.
Yep.
Back in the day.
It's true. That surprised me too. I can't believe that name's been sticking around because a lot of those names, the kind of unisex names too that you could see for boys and girls, we see those falling down on the list. I don't think she has much longer on the top 10 list. I think that one's going away.
Okay, all right. Well, I got to say it's not my total favorite, but okay, this is what I think is interesting. Looking ahead, so you are doing a little name forecasting here.
Yes, and what we do is we look at the list and we see names that are moving very fast up the list, below the top 10. And then we look for names that have been rising steadily over the last couple of years. Because every once in a while you do get the flash in the pan that comes up and then right back down. Peyton is one of those. We had Peyton way up last year and then it came down.
Wow.
But on that 2011 list, some very unusual names. Isla for girls, ISLA, like Isla Fisher, the actress.
Yes, I think I get that.
I get it too. It ends in A.
Arab and Riker?
Those are very unusual, yes.
I think of Rikers Island. I don't want my son named after a prison.
That's a tough boy's name, though. A lot of people are really looking for strength in boys' names, and they like strong sounds. You can hear the K in that. People like that. There's 2 others on that fast-rising boys list that I definitely see coming up strong. Kellen. There's a young actor named Kellen right now from the Vampire series, and also Kingston. Gwen Stefani has a son named Kingston, and people like the King sound of that.
Now, I thought it was interesting that you said this is the first time that people were really admitting that they looked to celebrities for names.
It's true. I mean, people don't like to own up to it. They don't like to say, oh yeah, I was a big Britney Spears fan, and that's why I picked Britney 5 years ago. They don't really like to own up to that. But this year, 34% of our moms, still the minority, said, yeah, I'm influenced by pop culture. I hear these names on TV or in the media, and I start to like them.
Well, I have to say, my children's names are Vivian and Rex.
Oh,
and
beautiful.
I thank you, but I'm influenced by celebrities, but celebrities who are dead.
Yes.
Like I like the
the retro flair.
Retro flair. But I was a little upset to see a version, not the way we spell it, but a version of Vivian's got a bullet to the top.
Yes, I was going to tell you that. Vivian is definitely on the rise. We see some old Hollywood glamour names, like Ava is on the top 10 list. Vivian's coming up. Greta.
Don't you think that's because of Angelina Jolie? Because it's even spelled the way her daughter is.
It's possible that it is. People are definitely influenced by celebrity children's names. Celebrities are very creative in that way.
Now these are. I noticed at the bottom of your press release that they said though, then there's a whole different thing for Hispanic names. So are we mostly talking about like Caucasian babies? Or do you group it like that?
Well, the English list is really based on English speakers, and so 25% of all births in the U.S. now are Hispanic. So we are seeing some Hispanic influence. Sophia is really the best example of that. When it's spelled with an F, that's really coming from Hispanic traditions. Isabella even is Isabel is a Hispanic version of that name. So we do see some influence there.
I love that Rocio. That's very pretty.
Yeah, there's some beautiful names on that list. So the other list that we have is an Espanol site in Spanish, and we look at names from our Spanish-speaking audience, and you will see some very Hispanic names there, but you'll also notice this year we saw a bunch of names from very popular video games. Mario and Axel. You know,
who would want to name their kid after the little guy that's trying to go climb and fix things?
yeah, I think
Like naming your kid Pac-Man.
I think people aren't really seeing it as naming their child after that character. They just like the name, or you know,
It's in the ether.
Yeah,
oh, yeah.
that's
The
what
other one I'm
happens.
upset about is my daughter's middle name, which I heard years ago on my honeymoon in French Polynesia. Never heard it before. Tiana.
Tiana. Yeah, that's the Disney princess. That's where that's
I know,
coming
but that's
from.
what's so funny. It's like, this is the thing. You get somebody like me who was obsessed with trying to find an offbeat name, and then all of a sudden Disney gets the same. Like, you think you're so original in life,
Right.
but everyone's thinking the same stuff.
Well, you were ahead of your time, though. You were ahead of your time with these names. And but the Disney princesses, which I was surprised too, like who really wants to name their child Belle or Ariel, you know, one of these princess characters. But people really, they love those characters. You know, they're beloved names for them. They love the princess idea. We even see that for the Disney princesses who aren't really characters, you know, like Demi Lovato and Selena Gomez are big stars on the Disney Channel. Both of their names are really hot on the popularity list.
Yeah, it's funny because I always, when I was thinking of a girl's name, I wanted something that could be an adult name and also could be a Supreme Court justice.
Ah, see, now that's great because a lot of moms have told us that they don't look past childhood with their girls, and that's why you see cuter names sometimes with girls, whereas with boys, moms are projecting into adulthood. But you do really want to think about your child's whole life when you're coming up with a name for them.
I know, and the other thing is you don't want them to be the Jennifer. Like when I was growing up, everybody was
Right.
Jennifer.
Right.
So, okay, I have to ask you, Linda, what is your daughter's name?
My daughter's name is Alessandra, which is my mom's Italian. It's an old family name. I went back a couple of generations and chose that. And we call her Allie for short, so you can always have fun with your nicknames. But I was set on Francesca until I was holding her in my arms, and I said, no, this is not a Francesca. I'm going with Alessandra.
I think that's great. I had to do the same thing. You got to see them to see what their name is. Anyway,
You
hey,
do.
thanks for talking to us. I just love this kind of stuff.
Oh, me too. Thanks for having me.